What's up, traders? Sandra O'Connell here with Pristine Capital. Welcome to our market recap video for December 15th, 2021. Today we're going to talk about the price action in the indices. We're going to cover Fed Wednesday, and we are also going to talk about the holiday sale we are running for Pristine Capital memberships. Before we dive into all that, quick first disclaimer: nothing in this video should be construed as investment advice or recommendations. Please follow your own trading plan and your own risk parameters. And last but certainly not least, do not YOLO your entire account into any one of my trades. All right, let's dive into the video. So S&P 500 is measured by the SPY, closed up 1.51%. NASDAQ QQQ finished up 2.28%. We had the IWM small caps finishing up 1.6%. And we had the Dow Jones finishing up 1.02%. Volatility was crushed in all of these indices aside from the Dow Jones, and we had really nice breadth on this advance. We had 80% advancers on the SPY. Best breadth was in the NASDAQ with 84% advancers. And you can see weakest was in the small caps with 75% advancers, still very strong. And coming into today's action, we talked about this in yesterday's video. Everyone's bearish. Everyone's been selling these growth stocks. It's just been like bodies on bodies piling up within the hedge fund community. And yeah, sentiment just got incredibly bearish. And we also talked about how we know exactly what the Fed's going to say. The Fed, coming into this, we talked about this in our community. The Fed is going to increase the pace of the taper to 30 billion per month. And they're going to hike rates 2 to 3 times in 2022. That information, that data, was clear as day to me. So if it was clear as day to me, that means for all the big institutions, all the hedge fund managers, like for everyone, that means if I know it, they know it, well in advance of me. So everyone knows this data set, except maybe weaker players in retail, to be perfectly honest. And I noticed people are still super fearful, the world's going to end after this Fed meeting, it's going to happen. Whenever I see that, that's always a clear tell of hey, something different is probably going to happen. We were looking at put to call ratios over the past couple days, really high. The DIX, dark pool activity, was showing that investors were buying into the weakness. So that was another indication that, hey, we could resolve to the upside after this meeting. And sure enough, we went to the meeting and the market responded very well. So Finviz heat map, you can see, great response by the market. This is such a pleasant change from what we've been seeing in this heat map. Apple up 2.85%, Microsoft up almost 2%. Wow, look at that. Nvidia up almost 7.5%. I didn't even realize that. Amazon up, Google, Tesla, all these stocks. Really nice performances today. Going over to our sector map, you can see all the sectors that have really been rallying at the top of our momentum list, because this list is ranked in terms of momentum every single day for you. We have consumer staples, utilities, and healthcare. And those are very risk-off areas of the market. That basically means the market's pricing in essentially a recession is coming or an economic slowdown. But today we finally got some nice action in some of these more risk-on areas of the market. So semiconductors up 3.67%. Look at this, biotech up 4.25%. ARKG up 4.51%. Let's see what ARKK did, up 2.11%. Wow, that one can't even catch a break. And then we have the blockchain assets up 3.12%. So really nice move and some money flowing back into those risk assets. And a lot of people are very confused by what's going on. They're saying, why is this happening? The Fed is tightening monetary policy. How could stocks be going up on that? They're trying to come up with these elaborate reasons. And to be honest, my point of view is it just has to do with positioning. We've been watching investors getting blown out of longs for the past couple weeks. So they've been getting blown out in anticipation. The market realized on that last inflation print, they're going to have to speed up the pace of their tapering. The market has known that, it's been selling off on it. Now that we finally ripped the band-aid off, Today could it have just been like some short covering and that sort of thing? Certainly could be. But yeah, to me, it's really just due to the positioning that we're getting this move. Min-vol style factors, we had momentum up 2.2%. Really nice move for the momentum style factor. We had growth up 2.11%, quality up over 2%. So yeah, nice moves really across the board. Worst performer, we did have cyclicals only up 0.99%. International value, international value and value, also lagging behind, because we know these growth stocks have really been getting killed. So that's why I've been focusing on, okay, let me get my act together. Let me start learning more about these growth stocks and learn which ones do I really want to buy on the bottom. So now I'm holding a lot of the growth stocks that I really want to be in, for the foreseeable future, and pick them up on like 40 or 50% discounts. Trust me, there's going to be people that they're going to be buying these same stocks 10% higher, 20% higher, 30% higher, but they will not touch these, when they've actually sold off. So pretty crazy how it can be very counterintuitive. When it's at like 100 times sales, it's like, give me that. This is the best company ever. But then that same company, when it comes into a more reasonable valuation, it's like, no, we're not touching it. Seasonality, maybe we'll get that little Christmas rally finally into the end of the year. We will have to see. Let's take a look at our headline indices. And yeah, we're seeing a much different technical picture now. So the market, take a look. We've been oscillating in this basically a huge trading range since that Omicron variant was announced towards Thanksgiving time. 3 levels: 4,700, 4,600, and 4,500. What I noticed yesterday, I talked about this on Twitter Spaces. We tagged 4,600. So first, let me just back up a little bit here. We rejected off of this 4,700 level. And he was like, okay, here we go. We headed down to 4,600, the next key level. We rejected off of 4,600, and then here we are back at 4,700. So I think the next key for the market is, do we get price acceptance above 4,700? That's the big line in the sand that we have to contend with. But in one fell swoop, we recovered pretty much both of these days of bearish price action. If you shorted the market on this candle, you basically got barbecued today. And then even if you shorted the prior day, now you're looking at this and you're like, wow, I'm already on my back foot in one single day. So yeah, I do think that now we have the firepower to potentially head up to this Venom R1 pivot level at 47.83 up there. And now as well, we're really getting into Christmas time. We have quad witching on Friday. And there's going to be a ton of options gamma coming off the books. But then the following week is, the week of Christmas. So I just think, given all of this volatility we've experienced, the blowouts that have been occurring in the market, I think since we made it past today just fine, I think the path of least resistance here is, to the upside. My trend model flipped as of this morning, was at a -3, and it flipped all the way up to a +3, which is good. So yeah, some very nice action in the market. Let's take a look at our hourly chart. And yeah, we pretty much went from below the weekly value area all the way to the top of it. So yeah, this 4707.75 level, I will definitely be watching that tomorrow. Let's check out our NASDAQ. NASDAQ finished up 2.28%. NASDAQ does not look quite as good as the S&P 500, but still a really nice candle for the NASDAQ as well. We are trading right up to this monthly point of control. And the Russell 2000, this could end up being a double bottom. And I think here, I was even mentioning this as well, we're getting awfully close to a breakdown in the small caps. And wow, look at this. We actually undercut the prior low and then found buyers. So I guarantee you, there were definitely players out there that as soon as we broke this low, they were like, all right, get short the Russell. And then we just immediately reversed. So yeah, we could have some nice short covering in the Russell as well into year end. And then the Dow Jones finished up 1.08%. Dow Jones, this is really just like the low beta play. You know, typically when the markets are going up, the Dow Jones is lagging behind. Typically when the markets are falling, the Dow Jones is not falling as much. So the Dow Jones is just not really all that interesting to me here. Yeah, this one positive as well. And let's take a look. We will take a look at some of my trades for today. And let's go over here because this was a bit earlier in the day. Okay, so throughout the beginning of the day, I did no trading. No trading at all. Like trying to trade the day of Fed Wednesday, that's like a recipe for disaster. Everyone's waiting for the river card, which is the Fed announcement, which comes out at 2. And then the press conference at 2:30. So, yeah, I was just trying to be patient. Don't do anything. Just keep observing. Keep looking for the relative strength. I noticed that Crowdstrike, the other day this got upgraded by, I believe it was JP Morgan. And they said, hey, at these levels, we really like Crowdstrike. This is a cybersecurity company. It's a SaaS company. And I love trading this one off of bottoms and growth stocks. I have a really good win rate trading this stock for whatever reason. So yeah, I like to just return to it whenever I can. So I noticed, hey, JP Morgan got bullish on it. And look at what this one ended up doing. So notice yesterday we had a bloodbath. And CrowdStrike just put in a little, green candle. And now today, really nice bar that brings us up to the top of this range we've been in for the past about 2 weeks. Check this out. On our hourly chart, we just broke out a value and we have a virgin point of control up here at 216.84. So could we get there? Absolutely, and I actually think it's highly likely for CrowdStrike. So one thing that I'm being cognizant of is like, which name is curling off that bottom first? Because I know a lot of these companies, they're fantastic companies, no doubt about it. It's just when are they going to curl off that bottom? CrowdStrike, I noticed, is pretty much first in that group. So yeah, what I did today was I added, this was at 305. This was like towards the end of the press conference, like middle to the end of it. I added the December 23rd, 207.5 calls for $6.45. This is basically like, I'm looking for a Santa rally here. Because yeah, my options expire the day before Christmas Eve. So yeah, CrowdStrike. The reason why I like this is because could this tag the 20-day moving average here at almost 220? Absolutely. If it does, then that'll make these call options pretty much like a double. So yeah, really like that one. And it just shows like once you get into the correct environment, like I put this on and it was pretty much immediately like plus 30% on these calls. And that to me is like, that's when you know you're getting into a position at the right time. Like over the past couple of months, it's been a lot of times you add something and then immediately it's just like, poof, it just sinks like a rock. So definitely good to see that a lot of these stocks start pivoting off the bottom. I closed out 1/3 of my SPY December 20th, 464 calls for $4.61. I had paid $3.84 for those. Then I closed out another third of those calls for $6.43. I had paid $3.84. So I do think these could continue to go, but I wanted to make sure, into today's strength, I'm peeling off some options exposure. So this was a very speculative trade. Expires in literally like 5 days. So yeah, I said, you know what, I'm going to sell into strength, and I kept a runner on. And then for common stocks, I did get long DigitalOcean. Added this as a core position. And yeah, I'm pumped to be back in this name. This is one of my favorite companies. It's a cloud stock. Trades at a very reasonable valuation. And DigitalOcean, I've been riding this thing since the 40s. And I sold on this candle right here, sold halfway through this candle for about like 115 bucks. Now I'm buying back in at 78. So DigitalOcean, like this one as well, closed out 5.21%. And I added, if you watched yesterday's video, I also added a couple of growth stocks yesterday as well. So now I feel like I have my little stable of growth stocks. I do want to take a look at today's action, a little bit later, and just analyze the scene, see if there's any others that are really showing some relative strength. But I like where I am in terms of just adding back the exposure to some of these high flyers. It's guaranteed, 100% higher people will add them. 50% higher people will add them. It's just kind of like the nature of the market. Let's take a look at some of these other names. So Nvidia. Yeah, look at that. Nvidia, just really nice bounce back into value. Tesla, this is probably a company that if the market keeps going, I did a scalp short on this one and made some money a couple days ago. This is one that I'd really like to re-short if it gets a nice bounce. So yeah, Tesla bounced as well. Lucid basically flat for today. I like the pattern that this one is putting in, looking good. And Unity Software, put this one on maybe 2 days ago. This one closed positive, looks like it is starting to turn the corner here. AMD also finished very strong, up 8.04%, looking really good. And now trading above this monthly point of control. So yeah, a lot of good looking names now to look through. Let's take a look here. Let's pull up our options order flow, see what people are really going after today. So we have our options races. Let's take a look at today's combined flows. Let's take a look. Tesla. We're going to be over 2.5 billion flow today. Okay, 2.26 billion about. SPY. AAP, I noticed a lot of flow coming in for this one. I almost took this one for a trade, to be honest. This one looks pretty good. Then we got Taiwan Semi, we've got small caps, Google, Roku. Let's take a look at AAP. Yeah, look at that. Nice close, and it's very close to the prior all-time high. So this is definitely one to watch. Let's take a look at Taiwan Semi. I don't think this one's looking as good. Wow, look at that. Taiwan Semi coming out of the woodwork, up 3.53%. Look at the weekly chart here. This weekly chart looks awesome. I love how this one's just in this really tight consolidation here. Yeah, this one looks good. Now let's take a look at our tradescape. Oh my gosh, tons of flow here. And look at that. I noticed some huge call activity coming in intraday. And yeah, it looks like these call buyers ended up being right. Mixed bag here for SPY. Amazon, some big calls, but a lot of put activity as well. Baba just probably getting nuked. Let's see Baba. Yeah, just can't catch a break. I really think the majority of it is the delisting concerns, because if you look at Asher, this is the A-shares ETF. The A-shares are doing much better, because this is basically you're investing in the actual Chinese companies on the Chinese exchange, not on the US exchange, not the ADRs. Nvidia, lots of puts actually. So this is a lot of latecomers that were trying to get hedged into this event, and they probably got blown out of these. But yeah, that likely means that the move in Nvidia, there still could be some more juice in it. Yeah, this AAP, some big call activity. Wow, geez, almost what? They put almost $1 billion into this company in call activity. It's insane. ARK, just a ton of puts going up. So yeah, ARK, could we end up seeing a short squeeze? Yeah, we certainly could. Definitely. Look at the volume on this. So yeah, that's one. I'll probably be watching that just for like a day trading opportunity tomorrow. We'll see. Shopify, mostly puts going up. Had one big call order. So yeah, again, Taiwan Semi. Wow, bunch of calls going up. 80 strike, 70 strike, 30 strike, 75. These are all pretty deep in the money though. Yeah, we're trading at 120. Let's take a look at one more. Berkshire B, what the F? Wow, we're actually seeing some calls going up in Berkshire B. 170 strikes, 200 strikes, 280s. It's interesting. I never really see call activity for Berkshire. But wow, yeah, Berkshire is like sneaking up to the all-time highs right now. Yeah, it's a good-looking chart on the weekly. I'm going to be adding this to my watch list as well. Not bad. So yeah, those are our stocks. Yeah, today, a really interesting reversal day. We'll have to see if the strength continues. I think we got past the eye of the storm, though. The other thing I want to bring up, we are going to be running a holiday sale, and it's more like a end-of-year, New Year sale for the Pristine Capital trading community. We're going to be doing a 30% sale off the membership. So I'm going to be working on just getting the graphic for that up, and that should be out within a couple days. So definitely check that out if you're interested in joining our trading community. With that being said, that about does it for this market recap video. Hope you all have an awesome rest of your evening. I'll see you all tomorrow.